Hi guys, welcome back to Prem Talk. Yet another video, and for starters, we start the video on a sad note. Uh, the loss yesterday of Diogo Jota and his brother Andre, and it is really saddening to have to get the news that two players who especially Diogo Jota gave a lot to the football game and gave us a lot of memories. As a Chelsea fan, personally, I did not get to the chance to see Diogo Jota weekly, but at every opportunity that I had to watch any Liverpool game that he was involved in, any of his previous club Wolves game that he was involved in, because that's where I first heard of Diogo Jota and came to see him officially, and he was a very top player, and it's very sad to have to lose such a player. So all my condolences to the family and friends, and rest in peace, Diogo Jota. Uh, into the video now, and this is going to be a preview of Chelsea versus Palmeiras tomorrow morning, very early in the morning, 4 a.m. Quarterfinal clash, where we get to see Estevao Willian against Marco Correa or Chelsea FC, that individual battle down that right hand side. See how our future player in Estevao, who will be joining, of course, in the summer, gets to perform against, personally for me, the best left back in the league, especially last season in Marco Correa. It'll be a big opportunity for Chelsea to be able to get into the semi-finals of the Club World Cup, and of course now when you're at this stage of the quarterfinals, you are already dreaming of the possibility or the chance of you getting to lift a trophy. Uh, this is just going to be a preview of that. My sincerest hope is that we get through, of course, to winning the whole thing. But of course, first we have to get through Palmeiras first, and all eyes are now on Palmeiras. From what I have seen of them, I believe I watched all but one of their games, and that was their last 16 tie with Botafogo, but I watched all the group stage games, and they are a very tough side, defensively very dogged, set up with a back three and the 3-4-3, and they are very aggressive, especially the two in midfield, led by the midfield general there in Richard Kios. He is very aggressive on his tackles, very fast to close his man down. So we have to be really careful, especially on the ball, because I know that Palmeiras are going to give us a lot of the ball, and they are going to prefer playing and sitting on the counter. When they begin the game, they will come out strong, yes, high on the press, aggressive, looking to win the ball high up. But once the game settles, I believe they will hand us possession, and they'll be there doggedly defending and waiting to hit us on the break. So definitely our back line, especially the fullbacks, who generally have a lot of work to do in Maresca's system, are going to have to be careful with the spaces in behind them, because players like Estevao, as mentioned, Rafael Vega will both be looking to exploit that space in there. And of course, we have to watch out for their striker in Lopez. He did score in the last game, did start the first two, I believe, because it was Vitor Roque who was given the opportunity. Uh, my hope, of course, is that Vitor Roque starts, so that our defenders at least can have a bit of a much easier game, because Lopez indeed is a handful. So uh, I'm going to get into the lineup. Uh, of course, now that with all the threats and dangers that I've mentioned of Palmeiras, ideally that this will be the lineup that I believe will be able to do the job of getting through Palmeiras. And of course, starting in goal, it's going to be Robert Sanchez. Enzo Maresca has made it clear that he's his number one. So Robert Sanchez is going to play in goal. And the back four, for me, I would go with Reece James at right back, Tosin and Levi Colwill as the two centre backs, and of course Marco Correa at left back. I know Gusto can play there, but Marco Correa is a starting left back, so this is a very serious game. Uh, so Marco Correa left back to complete the back four, and I trusted that back four solid enough, and even if required, the two full backs are able to help out when needed in midfield or even further up the pitch. So that is the backline that I will go for. In midfield, there's going to have to be a little bit of a reshuffle. With, of course, as we know, Moises Caicedo picked up a yellow card in the last game, so he's suspended for this one. And I do hear that Lavia does have a small injury issue, and therefore I do expect changes here to happen. And I will not be surprised if we get to see the opportunity of Andre Santos partnering Enzo Fernandez in midfield. I do get a sense that Andre Santos is slightly ahead of Dario Esugo, and ideally, will it be able to trust Dario Esugo in such a big game? Although he is very aggressive, just the right type of aggressive that Moises Caicedo brings, and he will be the ideal choice. But I believe this will be a game that will just heap too much pressure on him. So therefore, I'll just start with Andre Santos, then look to control the game, and then once you're leading, you can bring on Esugo to close out. Then that is the two that I will choose to go for in Andre Santos and Enzo Fernandez, preferably for me. And we go into the front four, and of course now with the death of Diogo Jota, who is a very close friend of Pedro Neto, I do expect that probably Neto might not play the game, or at least might not get to start, but depending on how he feels. So if Neto isn't ready to start, then we have no other option but to play Noni Madueke on the right hand side. And Cole Palmer is going to have to step in on that left wing, just as he played in the previous game, start at the left wing, but then invert inside to be a left sided attacking midfielder. João Pedro so he can keep interchanging with Cole Palmer because they are both two very flexible players. Then, of course, up top, Nico Jackson is back, but bearing in mind that he did a bit of indiscipline the previous last two games, I believe it was in the Flamengo game that cost him the next two. So I will start Liam Delap again, and I hope that Delap has a much better game because I did notice while rewatching the Benfica match that he wasn't really that much into the game, and he needs to improve on that. So Liam Delap will start up top, and then look to bring on Nico Jackson later on in the game. So that is the lineup that I will choose to go for. As for my prediction, I do see Chelsea getting the victory. Very tight game, of course, it will be. And I am going for a 2-1 victory for Chelsea. And my hope is that we get through and into the semi-finals, where if we manage to do so, then we get to play the winner of Al Hilal of Saudi Arabia or against Fluminense of Brazil. That is the video, guys. My preview for the Chelsea versus Palmeiras game, 4 a.m. Tomorrow morning. It is going to be a long night for me, definitely, because I will also be watching the first game, that is Al Hilal against Fluminense, who are playing tonight. at 10 p.m. So I'll have to watch that. Look to do something till, of course, 4 a.m. and then watch the game, then go to bed. So you will get the review of that game later on tomorrow, but not very early in the morning. So thank you guys for watching. Please have a lovely Furahi day and enjoy the rest of your upcoming weekend. Bye, take care, and see you all later.